Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Remember I said that June is for couples. We'll be learning from couples and their experiences, and here I have my amazing couple. I mean, you guys are not even ready for what they dished out. I mean, the truth about themselves, and they were vulnerable enough. I mean, you guys, there's a lot to learn from them. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet to this channel.
Ginger. I will turmeric, don't worry, she will ginger. Eh?
You guys are welcome to Really Right. So please can we meet you?
I'm Shegun Daniel Bello, and this is my my sweetheart.
Daniel Bello.
Okay, so today we want to learn from you guys. Like you're newly married, so we just want to learn what's the process you guys to this point and how the experiences basically. So the first question is before you met Mr. Shegun Daniel.
Yeah, I'm going first.
Yeah, you're going first. Before you met Mr. Shegun Daniel, before you even knew him at all, like were you waiting for a man? Like were you hoping that one day the bone of my bone will find me, or you were just doing life? And if you were just doing life like that, what were the things you were doing in your waiting period?
Okay. Before I met him, yes, I actually had a waiting period. As a young girl, I've always had this desire that at this particular age I was going to get married, but that wasn't really forthcoming. Actually, before I met my husband, I was in a relationship that was tending towards marriage, but at the time I had to quit the relationship because it wasn't looking like what I thought it was going to be. And between that time and when I met my husband, it was about 3 years. So in between, there was a lot actually. There was a lot in between that period of waiting. It wasn't as if I didn't have people coming around me. There were some persons that actually showed interest. And I even had cases where some people I knew were trying to matchmake me with people they saw as potential life partners. But I was close to some of them, and some of them were close to me. I say so because there were some I actually thought I liked, but when we got to know each other, it turned out to be okay. This was not going to work. Then there were some that actually liked me, and the flow was not just there. So, but in between, the thing is, I knew what I wanted in a man. So it wasn't like anyone that comes, I just take. I knew what I wanted, so I was kind of quite, should I say, selective? I don't know if that word is right. Though there were persons coming, but I was trying to I was trying to should I say, weigh them kind of based on my preferences. So, but in between, I didn't just say because I'm waiting for someone, then I was just there, just waiting. There were certain things I was actually doing, like I'm a fashion designer. In between that period, I got my business registered. I got my business registered. I opened a corporate account for my business also. So I was trying all I could to be a better person in terms of my business. I was going for online tutoring. I was having some online classes related to my business. So I was not just there crying, and there were times when I felt kind of pressured, but the pressure was not from outside, it was from within. The kind of pressure that I feel like I'm supposed to be in my husband's side at this point. Sometimes you go online, you see your friends, they are posting their children's picture, posting husband's picture, and that's true now. So it's the kind of pressure that comes from within you. There's nobody telling you go and marry, but you are the one pressuring yourself that I'm supposed to have been married by so look at my mates, they're all married and all of that. So my family has always been great. I can't remember any time I felt pressured from them, but I was on putting myself under unnecessary pressure. Today I can gladly say God was working behind the scene, because today I'm married to one of the best men in the world. So I'm glad I waited this long. I am super glad I did, because I don't know what the story would have been if I had been married before now.
Please, can you share your waiting period with us, if you had any?
Yeah, everyone has a waiting period. It's just the timeline. I had some relationships with certain persons that I was hoping would work into marriage, but it just happens that along the line you find out that goals do not align, certain things, character, behaviors. It's not like anybody's perfect, no. But there are things in life you should be able to weigh, even when you're madly in love with somebody, and ask yourself, if this will persist for 10 years, can I live with it? Okay, some things will test your sanity, mental sanity, to see how effective you are, if you'll be happy or not. Whether or not for certain reasons, it just didn't happen that went on. But what was I doing in those period? The period where I was pressured? Yes, I just started feeling like, you know, now, and one more thing told me, people will not reach me. They marry, even people who were my bros in school, what's going on and all like that. So I think I jumped into one relationship then, not just one, a good friend of mine, honestly, but I knew before I did I wasn't supposed to, but because I just felt we were friends already, so why not? But after a while, I lost every iota of peace in me, knowing that I shouldn't have, and that was going to make someone feel bad. So I knew I had to pull off, I had to apologize, and all like that. Then I had to go back to waiting. And I told myself, if you have waited till this time, I think at that time I was 34, if you waited this time, what's the rush? What's the rush? Where are you running to? Just be patient. And yeah, I prayed. You can't do these things without praying, no? Let me be honest with you, because a guy can come to you pretending, but we hear of so many domestic abuse and all like that. These things are there somewhere in those people. They might hide, they can pretend, but it always have a way of finding itself out. But I had to wait, and that period of waiting, when God told me wait, boy, if God didn't say wait, it's easier to wait. But if God say wait, it's like that's when you have every reason not to wait. Different persons, different persons with interest started popping up left, right. I counted about 16 within November. I met her in April last year. That's when I met her for the first time. So there were people popping up left, right, center. But I thank God for one thing, because one prays and one knows how to hear from God. It's important to know how to hear from God. Praying is one thing. Knowing how God speaks to you is another thing, very important. So and God kept telling me, I usually ask God a question when I discover that the person comes close, 2-3 ladies are coming close, you understand? I'm asking God, is there anything in this line of marriage with these persons? And God is saying no. And I just take it for no. I don't even struggle with it. No, I'm not like down to how we met.
Yeah.
So we met. I run an online show. I run. Then when I was in the State, I was running a program also, a Kwankore program on the State television. Our guest for the program was called off. He called off his session with us, that he had to be in Lagos. I was on his way to Lagos that particular day. So I was like, okay, what do we do? So I got back home that day. I was tired. I think I had some things to do that day. I go back time, my legs were heavy. So I prayed, which is my way. God, who has this opportunity that is being created now, they're supposed to come on this show, because I believe in making people maximize opportunities. So I don't just give opportunity to people because you think you are doing something. I had to pray that, and I knew that slot was for someone. So it happened to be that her sister, who's been a long time friend of mine, that we've been not been able to see each other effectively. She's been trying for us to see for like 2 years. Came to my mind. I remember she has an eatery, a new one as at the time, and I had to run down to her eatery, and I was very tired. It was close to my house. So as I was entering the place, I noticed someone, and I thought it was the sister. She was the one that was at the counter attending to people. I saw her and I smiled like, finally, that feeling. So she looked at me like, what's wrong with this one? Like, so I didn't know it was not the sister, because from the side view they both look very alike and all like that. So when I got in and I discovered, oops, I said, sorry, where is your guy? I didn't even still know it was the sister. She said, I said, my guy is inside. I said, please call her for me. So she called her, we talked. I was exhausted. When we finished talking, so the sister came for the show the following day and all like that. So after the show we were talking, I noticed the dress the sister was wearing was quite aesthetic. So I was trying to like, big woman, you are enjoying yourself. Look at what you're wearing. Very nice. I like the outfit, fits you. He said, my sister made it. I said, sister? Which sister? He said, my sister you saw yesterday. I said, that's your sister? She said, yes. I said, whoa, she made this. Yes, and I was really impressed by the quality of what I was seeing. So I have a show I run, and I decided, okay, let me invite her for the show. It's for young entrepreneurs to talk about what they've been doing, how they've been able to get to where they are, to encourage young people to also go the way of entrepreneurship. So she came for the show. She was supposed to come for the show. She didn't know anything about the show. She couldn't. Today she's even doing well. She's talking well. She couldn't. She said she had never tried that before. So she was like, I don't know anything. I said, okay, I'll prep you on it. So the sister gave her my number. She contacted me. We started talking, and we are still talking to today. So that's how we met. About the time I met her was about the time I left Ekiti State for Ondo State. I relocated. So we had a kind of a distance in relationship. We don't see often, and it was good. One of the true tests for love is distance, and I'm talking about physical distance. If a person can be far from you physically to a measure and still love you without compromising, then it means that the person you're safe with for the rest of your life. But if environment changes people and makes them shift their mind from you because they're just not, you're not even just around for some weeks and they're already feeling like, let me get somebody to fill in the gap, that person doesn't love you and all like that. So distance was a good one for us, and all like that. So we started working out everything bit by bit. Okay, this by discussion and all like that. We started looking into some things, and I don't waste my time. I made her know what was my mind, for her to go and pray about it and everything like that. Then I think when I made her know, I didn't make her know like, okay, give me an answer. I was asking her at that time. I just made her know, this is what I remember. Me too, I'm still taking time to. Because I went back to God to ask God, and God told me, I didn't tell her then. God told me, said, yes, go ahead, you have my blessing. And that's what I need. In marriage, what you need is God's blessing, your parents' blessing, your family's blessing, your spiritual parents' blessing. Very important to be able to have a home, start up without problems. There's some things you don't struggle with when you have the blessing. You understand? The day I proposed to her, she was she was not expecting it. I went to visit her. She was staying as an aunt, her aunt's place. So I just went to visit her sister's place. I just went to visit her. I went with my intention intact. So when she was talking, everything. So she was there, I think she was doing something, she was distracted doing something. And I used the opportunity. I just brought out the ring and I asked her, will you marry me? and I just saw somebody press pause. What's going on here? You understand? It's not that she didn't know that the likeness was there. We had prayed, I had my clarity, but sometimes you want to give a long time before you get into that and all like that. And I was shocked. She said yes on the spot. Like,
sorry to cut you. Was that you just asking out?
No.
Or not like proposal
For
marriage?
marriage, I am straight to the
You guys
point.
don't do anything like dating?
Dating, what they call dating, friendship.
Okay.
No,
Like,
let me be honest. Let me be honest. What is dating? Sincerely, we created the room dating that has brought about a lot of problems for most people. Friendship before marriage is enough. What's dating? You want to test the water, you want to that's where all this, he slept with me, he abandoned me, I got pregnant. Why are you dating? Be friends. By the time you know each other without any emotional cloudiness, you will be able to tell yourself, okay, I want to go on with this person effectively. That's me, that's my principle. If I'm talking about relationship, all the persons I spoke about relationship because I had and I felt I wanted to get married to them. Not with the mindset that let's do trial luck. I was never that kind of a person. From the word go, I'm this kind. I tell you, my interest is to marry. You understand? So and all like that. So it's something that has caused a lot of problem for a lot of people, and will keep causing a lot. Then something that helped us was that we started opening ourselves to family. Spiritual parents. I can remember when a pastor wanted to see me because a pastor happened to be her sister's husband. He was like, "Why would you say yes on the spot like that? Why?" He was like, "I'm convinced." That's why I said. So he already knew about me and her being friends and all like that before then. But at that point, he was like, "Is that how you say yes?" No. So I remember at the point she was worried. I had to tell her, I'm coming to Ado tomorrow. Tell him I'll see him tomorrow evening. I'll be in Ado. Okay, sir, sit. Let me sit. Let's talk about it. Okay, I have interest in that. Okay, let's have this conversation once and for all. I'm not afraid to have the conversation. And we sat that day, and I was thinking we were going to have a hard-blood conversation. It was just like we were just still laughing, and I was like, is that why I would travel on this way? My elder brother was already aware of it initially, but I now went back, called my pastor introduced her to my pastor, and started ensuring that the right people knew about it. Knowing, which is one thing most young people don't know, knowing that as I introduce her to these people where I am, it puts a caution that no matter what, I don't just get flipped by another lady's interest. It was to help her also to have the confidence that this guy is subject to authority. If you're not subject to authority, if you don't have a mentor that you respect that can call you to order, that your life can naturally be in order because these people are in your life, then you're not fit to be the husband of anybody. I know what I'm trying to say to you. Because tomorrow, that's the reason why you want to jump out and want to get out there to start dating other ladies, falling with other ladies, because you don't have anybody that puts you on check and balance. I saw that in the house, so that she had people who could call out to her. That gave me safe ground. So there was no time I was afraid, being where I am, that we are one brother somewhere will carry me. I'll just say, if my principle was, if you like, wake up and say I'm going, I'll tell you all that, but I said I won't feel bad. I won't want it. I think the first time I told her that, she was like, so you mean you won't? I said, me. I've passed that stage, to be feeling bad. I know one thing, and this is what most young people need to understand. Know your value. I know how valuable I am. I knew how valuable she is. I know how valuable she is. That's what attracted me to her value. But if you feel that your value is too small for me, because you cannot be too big for my value. I know my value is heavy. I know. I naturally know my value. So, you want to walk away. God be with you. Goodbye. I won't even cry. I'll just move. God, what next? And I'll move on what I have to move on. Because at that point in time, this was not a time to start meddling with, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I saw in her. I knew who I am. I want to marry a man like this, with that. do you fit a character that can manage such a person? You understand? Have you worked on yourself before you can become married to a person? Also, can you manage yourself before you talk about managing two persons? Those are issues that we young people don't really look out. You're no longer a liability. You're now an asset being added to someone's life. So that's how we should look at it. So for ladies who say, or guys who say, someone broke my heart, first go back and check what was the issue, what happened, where was I wrong? Be objective with yourself. Get it right. Sit back and fix yourself. Make yourself miss right. You understand? To the level that the man, no matter where he is, even if there are 1,000 ladies around, you will stand out. You just know that you understand? When he meets you, you know that I see nobody anymore. Why? Because that value you carry is what will attract him. Then 2, front last, I'm not attracted by people who have value. Because if a lady has value, you understand, and knows that value and carries herself in that value, players can hardly get to her.
Yes.
Because she'll be intelligent, sound, able to decipher them, able to dismantle their antics, and guys are naturally afraid of ladies like that. Now, this is how you know such ladies. When guys walk up to them and say, and you know, if a lady should look straight into the eyes of the guy, if the guy has a good intention, he will be stable in communicating. But if he has an ulterior motive and the lady is looking straight up, he begins to look for how to remove his eye, because something about him cannot stand a woman who knows her onion, who knows herself. So ladies, know yourself. It's very important to know yourself and accept yourself for who you are. Sorry, not who you are in a negative, who you have grown to become for the better. You understand? So that will help a lot. So, and when entering a relationship, there's first stage, which will be the emotional stage. Where you have to caution yourself. Both of you have to talk. You have to put yourself in order. This, what do we want? How do we want it to be? And on like that. So, if you can get all of that right, then I think there's no problem. With your family's blessings and all understanding, will work out well.
Mr. Daniel has finished everything.
No,
yes.
that I said you can bring her in between.
Yeah,
you understand?
yes.
She will still talk, but I just wanted to have my own talk so she can have her own. Then you can now decide where to bring each and split it.
Ooh. Even me, sir, I got carried away. I forgot we were recording.
No, it's good that way. I probably did that way so that I will not have to talk a second time.
That's okay. You will still have to talk because there's still a question you want. So Mrs. Oyinlade has finished it. But just tell us, like, how did you know that I'm going with Mr. Daniel? No other man is coming here. I am going with Mr. Daniel. Like, what were the things you saw in him that made you feel like you were doing life?
When he came, there were so many things that were different about him. But like you said, funny enough, the first day we met, it was not this love at first sight thing. I didn't even, like you said, when he smiled at me, I was like, why this one smiling? I know you from somewhere. So when he smiled at me, I didn't smile back. Then later on, when we got talking, before his show, we were talking already. I think we were supposed to meet for the show on a Friday, and we started talking like Sunday. So from there, we began talking, and we just became so close. The flow was just, the connection was just, I was like, He was trying to put me through on the interview, but somehow I could sense that this one on the pass. I could sense that, as a lady, if a guy is beginning to show interest in you, we will talk and talk. Sometimes we will chat till like 9-10 p.m. He will call me. Then he started calling me on video call. I was like, okay. But at that point, I told my sister that, because he's a very good friend to my elder sister, like, this is your friend, though. We've been talking and all that too, but I think he likes me, though he hasn't said anything yet. So when he said, okay, I have interest in you, I'm still going to pray about it. You go and pray also. Sorry to add, before he told me about his interest, I was already talking to God and saying, God, this guy that is showing interest in me, how far. He hasn't said anything yet, but I was trying to check my spirit, talk to God, that God, if He's the one, I want to even start getting signals. I want to know even before. So when he eventually voiced that, okay, he actually asked me out on a video call. He called me on a video call. I'm not mistaken.
I didn't ask you out. I made you know my intention.
Okay, he told me about his intention on a video call, and then I was like, I felt a bit kind of, should I say, embarrassed, kind of like, it wasn't so unexpected because I already started seeing signals. So, but when he did, that was when I now went to God in full force, like God. And I told my elder sister, then I told my pastor, who also happens to be my brother-in-law. So I'm like, okay, so we're praying. So in between when he told me and when I finally gave him my reply, there were so many things I saw about him. Like he mentioned earlier, values. I saw that we were somehow on the same pedestal when it comes to values. He's somebody that he didn't come to me quoting scriptures or telling me about God. In fact, funny enough, we were not even talking about Bible for a very long time. It was later on when we started quoting that we were now having prayer section, discussing scriptures and all that. But it was not. It was not that kind of brother that come and say, sister Kiniko, they quote scriptures or no. But I just knew this somebody that loves God. Though my sister has also told me about him while they were in school, but it wasn't just that alone. From our conversation, I could see that this is somebody that has values for the things of God. He has value for family and so many other things too. He has family for hard work. He has values for hard work. When he got to know about my business, he gave me so many tips then. We were always talking about my business. I was always looking for ways on how to pull me through on what it was, connecting me with some persons in the state there. Tell me, so person, I've told so person about you, go and see this person. I remember this lady that anchors Ikiti fashion shoot there in Ikiti. He connected me with the lady. I was like, wow, this guy doesn't even know me that much yet, and he's already doing so much from here. So, and when I prayed, I had my conviction about him. Like I said earlier too, though there were some guys coming around me, but when I tried to like weigh them, like, okay, this person and what my preferences are, because I've always known what I didn't want in a man. I've always known it from a very young age. I've always known. So, but when I saw him, I began to see some things I wanted in a man I would call my husband, and we had a discussion on this particular day. I think I was the one that asked him a question, or he asked, and from the response, it just clicked that okay, is this guy? So I had my conviction. I had some scriptures that God gave. For me, it was a step of faith. Here we are today.
Glory to God.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to say something here.
Okay.
She brought up some things that are very key. One, when we were starting a relationship and I asked her out for marriage, I told her, I said, before you say yes, know that there's no going back. I wasn't trying to put her in a state whereby she'll feel like she's in a trap. No. Before you say yes, know what you're going into. This man is serious to this fault. You understand? And if you're saying yes, it means that we're going to work it out. We're going to walk through it. We're going to ensure that everything gets to the goal. You understand? So I told her, I said, this is a faith walk. If you're saying yes, it's a faith. You're saying yes by faith, in a promissory note that okay, this man, I might not know all about you, but I trust God from here with you that will work out things effectively. So we took the step by faith, and we started by faith.
Thank you so much, guys. I
Thank
appreciate
you. Namaste.
you. Thank you.